All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the webinar.
We might need to get rid of our background
So we can do two.
if we're going to be on the same.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Boom.
Magic.
Just like that.
Been magicked into the Zoom universe.
Yeah. We got our matching shirts.
Absolutely.
All righty. Cool. We'll give it a few more minutes. We've got some exciting stuff for you guys today. Got a little sneak peek of our Cougs NFT platform that we're going to be launching here. And we're also going to be diving into a history of the company, which is going to be really exciting from the perspective of two founders while John's at a conference in New York.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we just start with the video?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So let me share my screen. There we go. All right. Okay, everyone can see that. So we'll just dive in since this is recorded.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go with the video first.
Well, I will. I'll jump in, give a little context. So Mike Snow here and Chris White, co-founders with John Cheney, who's at a conference in New York. We are the three co-founders of Ocavu, and we're going to dive a little bit into the back history, share some fun old videos of what we built prior, and then tie it round circle to where we are today. So Ocavu's journey has been quite a long one.
Yeah. 2016.
2016. I remember John calling me up in January of 2016 and asking me if I wanted to do a treasure hunt business with them. And naturally, I said, of course. So we each withdrew $100 in Susan B. Anthony, or sorry, $50 each in Susan B. Anthony's, put it into a glass jar and hid it up in Provo Canyon near Bridal Veil. Created a Facebook account, pushed a bunch of people to it with a little bit of ad spend, and we got some people to go out and look for this real life treasure that we hid up in the canyon. And a dad and his two sons found it, and we had it all documented with drone footage. We interviewed them. It was a hit, right? They went on a hike and found real treasure. And then Pokemon Go came out later that year. And me and John were talking about how we can incorporate that new augmented reality technology that people were running around catching Pikachus with. And we decided to create an app, a geolocation-based app that incorporated augmented reality into a treasure hunt. So rather than going out and finding a physical treasure chest, you would find an augmented reality 3D chest, and you could tap on it and it would give you a randomized prize. And we brought on Chris at that moment, and
so prior to that, I was working at Western Governors University as a mobile developer. And as entrepreneurs do, always had some side hustle going. And so I was working with a couple guys building a app where you could put on scavenger hunts for businesses. And so we had launched I built the app and kind of architected how it worked, and they went around trying to sell it, and it really didn't get that much traction. But a lot of the concepts of that app, location based and kind of like treasure hunting, were similar to what Mike and John were looking for in the app for Treasure Canyon.
Yep. And so we launched that app. I think we had the prototype like August of 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We built the prototype in about a couple weeks.
Launched the iOS version. Then we went and outsourced the Android and backend development with a company in Provo, a dev agency, where we met actually another critical component or critical person that helped kind of engineer that and build the Android and backend that was the utility and prize delivery mechanism. Mm-hmm. So within the next 6 months, we launched globally in over 100 countries. We had millions upon millions of geolocations.
80 million.
Was it 80 million?
80 million.
80 million little locations, from the Eiffel Tower to a neighborhood in Vietnam, to Australia, to every neighborhood here. Literally every neighborhood, museum, school, everything was plastered with these little locations that you could interact with and win a prize. And so we would get sponsors to then pay us to put their brand and put a special location and prize at their location. So if I wanted to get a prize to swig, I could go to their location and have a chance to win a free cookie, a free drink, a free cookie if I bought a drink, whatever it was. They would pay us to be in the app and get their brand more recognition. And so right off the bat, we built a utility engine and a cool delivery mechanism with augmented reality. So that was the transition from Treasure Canyon to Seek.
And one of the coolest parts, I think, at least, to the rewards system that we had built around Seek rewards, the augmented reality Pokemon Go of treasure hunting, of being able to go out and really like explore your neighborhood or your community with your family or whoever you went with. Maybe you went alone, but was your ability to discover new brands and new products that you'd never before discovered. Goal Zero was one of our sponsors, and not a lot of people, they were a little bit earlier, but they were able to get some really cool exposure. I had never heard of them personally, but being able to expose kind of a new audience to brands was really fun, and being able to have people see those products and learn about them, and then go out there and battle each other, try to win the prize before anybody else did, and rack up miles on their
odometer
watches. What's the main watch? Not the Apple Watch.
Fitbit.
The Fitbit was
people
kind of king then.
We had people in the UK putting on like 5-10 miles a day, running around to get. And we actually had it fragmentized so you could
kilometers,
but kilometers. True. So we had people. So we actually took a page out of McDonald's Monopoly and made it so that if you wanted to win, let's say, a TV from us, you had to win 4 fragments in order to get that TV. And so people might have 3 fragments and they'd all be racing to get that last one. And it was all randomized. So the more AR chests that they open, the more
about that is that there were different types of chests. And so you'd have to open every type of chest in order for the opportunity to get all of those puzzle pieces. Kind of similar to how McDonald's basically releases, their Broadway boardwalk in different states across. Like you can't get is that what boardwalk and Broadway Park Place? You can't get both of those in Utah. Like you'll never get them both. You have to like go to New York or something. And so we kind of had a similar system. You didn't have to, traverse multiple states. Although at one point we had 4 corners, the 4 corners achievement. Where you had to go to like Arizona, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming. And if you did that, you could open you could get the 4 corners fragments. And anyway, so a lot of different utility that we built around awarding prizes and making it really active and engaging for brands to put their products on our platform.
It reminds me of what we did for Samsung. We did a partnership in conjunction with Six Flags and Samsung, where Samsung was the sponsor, and they provided $30,000 of prizes to people that went to Six Flags locations and engaged with the special AR chest that we dropped at every Six Flags park. And people were winning so many prizes, and it was so fun that they were literally buying season passes just to go around and engage with our app at the Six Flags.
They would go there and maybe wait in lines, maybe not.
The
fun thing is you could wait in line and play the game, but also some people didn't even go for the rides. They would just go and to be in the park and be able to win those prizes. So
and so that was really popular. We did another one with thousands of Cinemark locations, and this was in conjunction with the Mummy movie with Tom Cruise. This is 2017, and we actually created a 3D mummy chest and put it at all these different Cinemark locations, and you could win a free ticket to the movie, a chance at free popcorn, all these different prizes by tapping on that chest. Super engaging. And then we did another one with Lionsgate for for the commuter. That's right. With Liam Neeson, which is basically taking on a train. And we actually created a virtual mystery game within the app where you could actually move around and solve a mystery to find who the murderer was or find the cat. I think you found a suitcase full of cash in the back of the bathroom on this virtual train,
which didn't connect to real cash at all, but it was just kind of a fun experience. Yeah.
So we did all these different things. Long story short was we built an incredible delivery mechanism for all of these prizes. We had hundreds of thousands of people in, what was it, over 100 countries, searching for 80 million different locations to find treasure at. And it was so engaging. It grew really, really, really fast. That principle is tying back into our company today in a big way, which we'll get to. And as many of you know, we also, so the pivot from Treasure Canyon to the digital AR app. Then in 2018, we had a big pivot where we actually made it so you didn't even need to download an app to see an AR experience. You could do it right just from clicking a link on a website. And so it would just use the native, Safari and Chrome browsers to deploy that link. And that's still one of our core technologies to this day, 4 years later. And that's the classic view in your room technology, which you might have tried on Amazon, where you can see a desk or a table or chair or a hot tub in your house or patio, all with a click of a button. And it places a true to life size 3D model in your life.
Yeah. So we put our business pants on.
Yeah.
we built this really fun, cool, engaging game.
Yep.
And it was amazing, and we loved it, and people loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we noticed that there was a lot of interest in augmented reality and in being able to view products through AR and experience that. And so that led us to develop that platform, which is really robust and capable. And anybody that's trying to deploy 3D content for their business, so that you can make sure that your hot tub will actually fit on your patio or whatever it is, they'll use that platform and get a lot of value from it from their users. Their users will get a lot of value from that. So
that's still an incredibly core part of our business today, which we'll show you in a second, how 3D and AR is tying all together. So, and then what brings a lot of you here today is the blockchain side of our business, which is super exciting. We have basically taken the utility engine from our initial product, the augmented reality from the second, from our core Seek technology, and then we've added in infused blockchain into all of that. And so that's the product that we're launching here in a couple of weeks. A very large, actually, I think the largest private university in America. And so, and potentially others very shortly after. And so today, we're actually going to do a sneak peek of some of the NFTs that we're going to be launching for the brand.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about, NFTs right now is that there's all this speculation around, like, it's been hype. It's been the hype zone of planet Earth for the past year, maybe a bit longer than that, 2 years, whatever it is. And there's a lot of people being, NFTs are on their way out. The hype's, burning out. You've used all your rocket fuel and now you're burning off fumes, whatever. Well, we really don't care that much about hype. Hype's not that important. We have a lot of other ideas around NFTs, about what makes them valuable. People don't know this, but if you go to Vasa and you have a membership, that's actually an NFT. An NFT is simply something that is not tradable for another asset directly. Bitcoin, you can trade for Ethereum because they are tradable and there is a value associated with them. Whereas NFTs, you can't trade your Vasa membership for your Maverick Adventures Club card.
Sure.
You can't swap those.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense. And so an NFT really just helps provide utility around things that we already use every single day. Are identities, driver's licenses, marriage licenses, birth certificates, and then things as simple as getting into a football game with a ticket. And then things as simple as, hey, you won something and we know you did. And with blockchain technology, you can prove it. And then there's just so many valuable parts of that where Well, I really don't like this utility.
Yep.
I'll sell it to you because you're really interested in it.
Yeah, I can't use it right now, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Which, another one we were talking about yesterday was charitable donations. It's going to be completely disrupted by this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many times where GoFundMe and other ones can just arbitrarily turn off funding to someone.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right? That's like me trying to give $1 to a guy on the street and someone comes up and takes the dollar away, right? It's crazy. Or the one that I thought could really be revolutionized by this would be charitable organizations like the Red Cross.
Yep. If they, every time you donate blood, like if it goes through the blockchain and on transactions on, as it's being passed down the line and eventually somebody.
So you're saying mark the vial or whatever?
Yeah.
That's
mark the vial.
Yeah. I was thinking more just on the sheer donations to these companies.
Oh yeah. That
because how much goes to the admin?
Yep.
To administration costs. Yeah. Oh, it's administration costs. Like, well, why is the admin getting $500,000 salaries?
Right.
And you'd be able to see on chain.
See a little bit more of where those transactions are going.
Yeah. So I think that's a huge one. We've talked on previous ones and these are all areas that Ocavu, these are all rabbit holes that will go down step by step. So right now we're really going to focus on nailing the NFT marketplace and ticketing with universities because it's a very simple, clear-cut use case, and it's going live here very soon. But there's all these different applications that we just mentioned. We've got a group that wants to help us do mortgage deeds, meaning literally storing a record of who has owned every single house on chain. It's not hard. It's not hard to do it, but that one will have a lot of regulatory tape, and that's why we're not going after it first. We've seen, and bless their heart, but like we've seen the opposition that Homie received by innovating in the real estate space. And there's a ton of red tape, a ton of pushback, and it would actually have to come from top down. Same with voting. I know Carter on here, I think, was sharing a politician who tweeted out, "I just want blockchain voting."
Yep.
And I was like, that would have solved. And you look back into the Al Gore election, Hillary Clinton, the Trump Biden one, all of these, it doesn't matter who wins. The other side is always disenfranchised, right? And no voting process, maybe in the history of the world, has ever been perfect. But on blockchain, it would be immutable.
So let's take a look into the future here. 2024.
Yeah.
SBTs, soulbound tokens.
Oh, yeah.
Which means
what is that?
A soulbound token is a little bit future looking in blockchain, but it's basically a wallet that's assigned to you.
Yeah.
And you can't pass it along. And then NFTs that are assigned to you that you also can't pass along.
Like a ID, like your
driver's
social
license.
security.
Absolutely. Okay. So SBTs paired with blockchain ledgerized voting. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Like 20, that's how simple it is.
It's
because then you don't have to worry about third-party organizations.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about, voter falsifications. Like there's so many, and obviously the systems are going to take time for us to figure them out, but people are working on these things.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have really amazing utility around blockchain that just didn't exist before because it's always been centralized databases, and you can't trust centralized databases. Also, you can't trust them because somebody's got all the access somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't trust them because you have corruption.
Always,
in
then you go to third world countries, they're like ripe for to be using this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, where it's even worse. But even here, like getting a mail-in ballot, like my relative's brother was in school and got all of the old ballots from the people that used to live there, like 5 or 6 ballots, and
his voting power.
Yeah, his voting power is
amazing.
If you wanted to commit voting fraud, he was like,
he leveled up
6x his vote. Yeah. But let's talk about sheer efficiency of the blockchain as well.
Yeah.
Because if it's blockchain based, you don't have to then mail it across the world. Think about, we have soldiers in like over 100 countries. They have to vote.
Yeah.
And those have to be mailed in from over 100 countries. Thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers mailing in their ballots. Like just the sheer cost of paper and stamps and time and gas. Like,
so yeah, if
it's on chain, it's just
So
like a
funny
snack,
enough,
yeah.
like there's definitely improvements in efficiency. Blockchain efficiency in general is actually pretty low. So there's so much work that needs to be done there, but it's being done.
Yeah.
And so we can look to the future and say, there's progress being made,
Yeah.
and there needs to continue to be progress made. But absolutely,
Well,
it's more efficient than
This is a mailing of
mailing it
physical
across
letter.
the yeah.
And
So,
what if that ship goes,
uh-huh.
what if that ship gets delayed
Right.
or sinks or
Mhm.
they're, you know, like delayed plane crash? Like
Yep.
there's so many things where all those ballots are just gone.
And that's you know,
Anyways,
that happens.
yeah.
Oh no, the ship
No, his ballot's
sunk
gone.
with all of our
Yeah.
favorite candidates' ballots. So anyways,
but the analogy that me and Chris were tying this to was we're basically in the early days of the internet, but for blockchain. Everyone's realizing they see where it's easier to see ahead. Before there was people were negative on internet. I remember David Letterman was bashing Bill Gates for like being able for you know promoting the internet.
Mhm.
He's like, if I wanted to listen to the score of the game, why wouldn't I just turn on the radio?
Why wouldn't you just turn on the radio?
Just turn on the radio, right? And how, you know, like
Yeah.
we get all of our information.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% of our information just flows seamlessly through the internet in real time.
Mhm.
The innovations in this space over the next 15 to 20 years is going to be insane.
Or even the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, I would say the next 2 to 3 years
Yeah.
because it's just so fast and there's so many more people and we get it, right? We
Yep.
just get technology.
Yep.
It's easier to see the applications for it when we have a precedent.
Mm.
Whereas the internet was so revolutionary.
Yeah.
Like I still don't get how telecommunication works.
Right.
Like I
Yeah.
understand it,
Radio
but like it just doesn't
waves
make
and,
yeah.
like going through your
Baffles,
brain right now, just frying everything.
Yeah, baffles my mind.
So yeah, we're kind of tangenting a little bit. We're trying to, you know, build. We're making you wait to see the sneak peek. Where I don't know.
Yeah,
it's really exciting and super fun for us. So we'll get to that.
Well, I would say the big
shortly,
thing,
but
the big thing that the whole point of that is there's the whole utility is the point of everything, right? Blockchain and, you know, Bored Apes on OpenSea was great. Like, yeah, you can right click, save the picture, right? But I know Carter gave a good point. It's like, wait till you go and try and sell that right clicked image. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's only the one that's on the blockchain that actually has the, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of value. And it's only the one on the blockchain that gets the airdrop of, you know, ApeCoin and gets the airdrop for all these things. The guys that held those original assets have made millions of dollars. And that was just one really cool use case. And the internet also was disrupted and I would say utilized by the art industry in the beginning. People saw it as a great way to display their art, let alone sell it. It was just a great way to say, hey, this is my art.
Yeah, art seems to be the innovator for some reason. It's like even in the, you know, the earliest times, like people started painting, and that's when, like, in my mind, we started to have a lot more mathematics and problem solving. And anyways, art seems to be the predecessor for innovation, and it's no different here with some of this blockchain. People have not quite understood cryptos, and they haven't quite understood blockchain or NFTs, other than there's a lot of hype, and if I get in early enough on a certain on the right project, I might make a lot of money.
Sure.
And so that's a great, you know, it's a good start in adoption. But as businesses start to recognize the actual utility around how does blockchain differ from, you know, standard internet protocols and standard communication protocols, that's where we start to see a lot of value and longevity, where it's not just the hype and the pump and dump, but there's you know, ongoing and long-term projects.
Yep, exactly. So let's jump in, show you guys some what we're doing. So here's the sneak peek of the Cougs NFT.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
And how many have we made of these?
10,000.
10,000 different iterations. And what are the utilities, Chris?
So yeah, we're really trying to cater the utilities to existing business models. So whatever you could imagine right now that people like at a football game, or like in general about BYU, or the experience around being a BYU fan, you know, that's really what we're trying to cater these utilities too. So number one is tiered rewards. So the whole experience is going to have a experience XPS. We call it XPS, but it's basically an experience points that help you level up, and the higher you level up, you'll get tiered rewards. So so our first tier will be a cub, right? You'll be a cougar cub. And you'll get really basic, or you don't even have to, this is not a pay to play. This is, you sign up, you're a cougar cub. Welcome to the club. And you get the tiered rewards for that, which is you get, to communicate with the community, and there's a bunch of different stuff around there, but there's going to be a whole bunch of different tiers there. And as you perform actions on the site and get involved in the community and, buy NFTs, trade NFTs, use the NFTs for their utility, all of these things are going to give you XPS points. So it's going to be a really fun system.
And then within that cougar, as you level up on that cougar board, there will be different events and prizes and different things that will be awarded to people that are active in the community.
Exactly.
Cool. So that's number one.
So yeah, number two is the one-off reward, which could be free food, photo ops, special events. There's a lot of different things that we have in the pipeline, and so many things that BYU has put forward as options for us to use as a utility and apply. And so we're really excited to share those, but not today.
But we can share examples. So
yeah, those are the examples.
So really the sky's the limit. And this is great that we literally built our company on the backbone of creative rewards for the community to the tune of hundreds of thousands of people across the world. But there's some cool technology that we're going to get to in a second. So let's say you buy a season pass NFT for a ticket. And you can't go to that game. Let's say I bought it and Chris wants to go and he's my friend and I just want to give it to him. We're going to literally have the functionality to transfer time-based. So a time-based transfer for that game, I can transfer to Chris's wallet. He can get into the game, and then after the game is over, it'll automatically go back to my wallet. Super cool functionality. And then vice versa. Let's say I bought a season pass and I get injured, or I go on sabbatical, or I go on some big vacation and I can't go to the rest of the games. There's 3 more months and I'm just gone. I can sell that out onto the open market.
And sell the whole NFT.
So the whole NFT.
Give it a new owner.
Give it a whole new owner. That's the flexibility and that's the functionality of NFTs and
of the blockchain system.
And smart contracts are amazing. We can literally program them to do whatever while still having the transparency and ownership benefits of the blockchain.
And really obviously cool. There's going to be things to resolve. There's going to be problems around blockchain technologies, but most there's easy solutions for so many things compared to the problems that you face
with like physical tickets.
With physical tickets. Physical tickets are just scalper's dream.
Scalper's dream. And that was one reason why schools have been begging us to build this product. And really any venue, like physical tickets have their limits, or scalpers, right? They go and get 100% of the markup for that ticket. And when you multiply that across tens of thousands of tickets for every game, for potentially every sport or every football game, it adds up. And so BYU will get a little transactional revenue off every ticket scalp that goes around. So so from a financial perspective, businesses love it for a couple of reasons. One, they can see everything on chain. Tickets can't be lost. It's immutable. That's big. They get a little transactional fee on it. And then just sheer efficiency. It's just more efficient. It's just a better way to do it. And that's why you guys are going to see this technology just spread like wildfire across the event industry.
So back to utility, our final kind of utility that we have planned for the initial launch, sponsored rewards. So just like our rewards program with Seek Rewards, we had sponsors who loved getting their hands and kind of mixing together. I remember the first Treasure Canyon, like the 10K for 10K, right? So we had the $10,000. You'd run a 10K and solve all these riddles along the way. And at the end, whoever got there first won the 10K. But there were tons of other rewards, and they were kind of all paired together with, we had Goal Zero.
So Goal Zero,
Maverick.
Maverick, Ultra shoes, New Skin.
Was it Vitamix or was it
Oh yeah, Blendtec.
Blendtec? It was
Blendtec
Blendtec.
gave away
That's right.
like
Blendtec
$300
gave
blenders.
a bunch of stuff away.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a cool experience
It was
for,
amazing. The top 100 people got to go into like a treasure room, prize room,
Yep.
and they got to, and based on your order of when you came in, you got to pick a better price, right?
Yep.
And so someone that won early might have got the $300 blender. Someone else might have gotten, $150 pair of, ultra running shoes.
And it's funny because if you look at every single one of these sponsors, they were related to adventure. Like think about Maverick.
Adventure based. Yeah.
Maverick is all about adventure.
Adventure starts
Goal
here.
Zero,
Yep.
adventuring because they
Solar
provide the
power,
solar
yeah.
power. Blendtec is all about health and fitness. I mean,
Yeah.
in my mind, that's what we
Yeah.
use our
Yeah.
Blendtecs for. We make
Yep.
smoothies and
The New Skin supplements for
New Skin
health.
for keeping you healthy.
Yeah. Ultra shoes.
Ultra shoes.
Climate.
Yeah.
They're outdoor sporting it
Uh-huh.
or outdoor gear. Incredible prizes.
Yep. So there's going to be lots of different companies that we work with, and they're all going to have
the sponsors for this are endless.
Oh yeah,
because it's beyond
BYU doesn't have a niche like so many.
So it opens us up to
whatever,
every single brand that wants to, and we already have interest from sponsors already.
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
cool.
A bunch. So sponsored rewards are going to be super cool, and they're going to add just another layer of utility onto these NFTs. And by the way, just to kind of give a little technical aspect of how these work for anybody who's familiar with how NFTs work. NFTs have traits. So if you look at each of these NFTs, you're going to have like, a Cougar club of actual club, baseball bat. And you've got kind of like, his glasses here and his visor and the background color. And each of those is a utility, and there's different rarities for each of those. So there's obviously
is the
not
XP going to be tied to the traits too.
The XPS won't be tied to the traits. We might have something around there, but it's still being
like more rare. If you buy a more rare one,
you might be able to claim XPS points from a more rare one, but still being worked on. But this right here, this bat obviously isn't that rare because we randomly selected 3 NFTs and it's in 2 of them. Yeah. And so, but a lot of these other traits here and the glasses, the two blue glasses are a little bit less rare. So, but you can see that, each of these body types are different. So you never know, you could be looking at a 1 of 1, who knows? Yeah. And so the more rare that these traits are, the better the utility, the better the reward that you're going to get. And so you might get a utility of some photo op with, a certain player or, person that you really don't care about that much. You're like, well, I'm not really interested in this photo op, but somebody's interested. Sure. And so because of the nature of this NFT, you're going to be able to then sell that to somebody else who's interested in it, and they know what the value of that is
during the season too. Because what if one player, one team starts doing really good, then their attributes or these NFTs will go up in value.
Yeah. So similar to how we had a very capable rewards system with Seek Rewards, we've been there, we've done that, we know how to make it fun and exciting. And so we're using so much of that knowledge with our new system.
Yeah. And we forgot to mention there will be 3D and AR enabled NFTs. So like the Cougar tail, I know we actually sent one of our 3D scan teams to BYU to go scan all of the old sports memorabilia, footballs, trophies, jerseys, cleats, from Steve Young to Jimmer. And so we've got all of that in 3D ready to be deployed.
We call those relics, which is going to be, you're going to want a relic.
Yeah. And because the utility will just be even better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
guys, that's
what else do we got?
Yeah.
I mean, question. Yeah. Should we go to questions or you got anything else?
Let's open up for AMA, and I'll try and think of a few questions you guys might have. So tentative launch. I know that's a big question people have been asking. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so so the mixtape one, we're pushing back a little bit. We're going to really hone in and focus all of our efforts to really nail this model with BYU. The community is there, the use case is there, demand is there. And that, I think the internal launch, we've already launched it internally. You're getting a little sneak peek, very small sneak peek of it. The tentative launch for that is August 1. There'll be a big release around that. And then the exciting part happens where we start to roll out NFT marketplaces for different sports, different event ticketing opportunities for BYU and for other brands that we have going. And we are in talks with a major sports league, which we're in negotiation with them. Very similar product and launch to what BYU will have, but the volume will be orders of magnitude different if we're able to close that one down. And then the same technology, we're going to be able to sell into tons of different verticals with minor tweaks. So the sky's the limit, and it's one reason why we're extremely excited. The other thing that I'm really excited for as a founder of this company for 6.5 years is we get to incorporate everything we've built into one ecosystem. And that's really the message here is Ocavu is now a Web3 ecosystem. It's one reason why we made that name change. We made a name change from Treasure Canyon, a treasure hunting company, to Seek because we are now a digital global AR company.
Yeah.
And that we held on to that as long as we could. And we're still holding on to that AR tech and our 5 issued patents in the space. But we're now adding in all of this blockchain, which is even more robust and scalable and exciting. But the fact that we can mix it all together is really cool. To have the utility, the AR and the blockchain all in one ecosystem is a reason why brands like BYU chose us over competitors. It's a very heated marketplace. And we've literally had other brands tell us, we asked them, why did you go with us over X competitor? And they said, it's because you're an established company. It's not a few guys in a basement. You have real revenue, real investors, real product. We've literally been able to build in all of this tech over the last 7 months now in lightning fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chris can attest to our development team is world-class. And yeah, there's always going to be little hiccups, literally with any product you launch in any company. And it's the team's ability to iterate and execute on the vision and the technology that is going to really ensure the success of this. And we're really excited. And I would say we welcome all the feedback that we get on the Discord.
Absolutely.
We're listening to you guys in the BYU channel and other channels, taking all of those, prize ideas and technology ideas, client ideas. I know one person in Discord owned a business and said, hey, I would love to use your AR view in your room technology. And so he's working with our client success team right now, which is really cool. Is there any other questions from the audience before we wrap this up? Look at the Q&A. Sounds like Carter had one I answered.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, and looks like we got something from
from Doug. Cool. Let's go. Doug.
I think you can go to participants. Yeah.
Doug Wilcox.
There you go. Allow me.
Okay. All right. Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome.
So there's a good question in Discord today about, as all of this volume starts to come in, like John had mentioned that like $100 in volume might increase by Ocavu by 1 to 2%,
Yeah.
as far as the buying pressure there.
Uh-huh.
The question is, where does that 1 to 2% come from?
Yeah. Yeah. So as as any purchase is made through the Ocavu network, there are fees. And so part of that fee is used to support the Ocavu network token. So when people
and I believe a little bit of we're actually burning a little bit of Ocavu each time that a transaction happens.
We don't have that entirely defined yet, but yeah, does that help answer that question? So basically, like anything purchased through the Ocavu network, which is going to be like all the NFTs and like there's fees associated with that. And so what we do is we just take a small amount and we use that to purchase the Ocavu network token with USDC, which it helps to add the value to that token to drive that price so that it constantly maintains value, because there's a lot of different things that obviously drive token value down. And so we said, how can we make sure that we're maintaining and driving that token value up? And so taking a little bit of the fee that normally we would take into the company and putting that instead into the token, which by the way, it's us buying the token. It's Ocavu is buying and owning that token. And so we can contribute to
the reason for that is helping provide liquidity for other tokens.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like John did say, so it's $1 to $2 of purchase pressure for Ocavu for per $100 of purchase of an NFT. And that's definitely an estimate. So it sounds like 1 to 2% is what you can be looking for. And we'll update you as that once we actually have the exact number.
Yeah, we're still defining all of those values as we build the system out.
And that cost is built right into the purchase of the NFT. So if one of these NFTs on the screen, if I was to purchase one for $100, I wouldn't pay 101 or 102. I'd pay 100, and then 1 to 2% of that would be taken out.
That's correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Of course.
Great question.
Great question.
All right. All right. Do BU athletes make profit off NFT sales? That's a great question.
Wow, how did we miss that?
Yeah.
That's like core to the score.
So yes. So a portion of all transactional revenue goes to Ocavu for building and maintaining the platform, to the department, to the sports department, and to the player. So Jaren Hall throws a touchdown, it gets minted as an NFT, that gets sold, we get a piece, the whole department gets a piece, and then the player gets a piece. And sometimes there's multiple players in it. That's all. It's really flexible. We can literally determine what percentage is shared per the players in the
for the NFT that's sold.
Yep. And the really cool thing here, and I was there when we were signing, all the NIL agreements with the different players. A lot of them asked, are like, well, hey, can I just post my own NFT and give utility? And the answer is yes. So there will be user generated NFTs where they can dictate the price. So we could have the star, volleyball player post on their social media, hey, I'm going to be launching an NFT. And the prize is you get to go and go to a practice session or a coaching session with me. It can literally be whatever they want. They could be, hey, you can have my jersey after the season, or whatever it is. And all of those things. So they'll get that utility. They can also do it in conjunction with a sponsor, right? They could say, hey, I'm launching an NFT that's sponsored by Costa Vida. And so you'll get, free meal at Costa Vida, once a month or something. It's literally whatever the players want, which is super, super cool. So the answer to the question is yes, they do get profits off their NFTs. And then I expanded the answer a little bit and just said, hey, it's super flexible. And really, we got to thank the NCAA for allowing them to sell their name, image, and likeness. It's a game changer, and that's very recent.
So this is actually a great question that also leads to a concept that we're not a marketing firm. We're technology and Web3 and AR, VR. And we enable all of these utilities, and we do our absolute best to make sure that communities like BYU and like these athletes who have their own communities and fans are empowered and rewarded for their their efforts in their community to provide an engaging experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be really cool to see how creative some of these athletes and organizations get with the utility that they provide, and with how they choose to market and how they choose to push out their launches to their fan bases.
For sure. It reminded me of one of the 3D assets we have ready for BYU that I'm not going to share, but it's a very famous former player, and we actually have an animated 3D version of them playing a sport, which is super cool.
It's really cool.
I probably should. Well, maybe we'll show that on another AMA, but maybe not. It's cool, and it will have a ton of utility. But that's one reason why we kind of went through the history of our company, in showing where we came from 6.5 years ago to where we are today, and really just I hope you can sense the passion, but we're really excited about launching this in other verticals as well.
Once we build all the utilities and all the tool sets around NFT ticketing and redemption of rewards, there's X number of redemption pathways that need to be supported. Then it's also going to be pretty easy for us to support things like SBTs, soul tokens, where you can have your identity, and you can have different types of ownership of things that really only apply to your person. Or to like a location based, like a building or something like that. So anyways,
sure, cool. All right, we're about out of time, but we want to just thank you guys. Thanks for taking the time for everything, right? For engaging in this community, for being here at the forefront. It's going to be exciting to look back in the next 6 months and just see how far we've come with the whole ecosystem that we've built.
And one of the things I loved the most about Seek Rewards was the community, was all of the feedback and how it actually
people all over the world
dictated a lot of how the platform functioned. And so we love feedback. We love hearing about what you like, what you hate. Most of us take constructive criticism really well. And so we will listen and we will, move the needle on things that we think, merit action.
Yep. And please message us if you have ideas for rewards, ideas for sponsors, ideas for the technology. We'll incorporate it where it makes sense.
Absolutely.
So thanks everybody. Thanks for attending.
Thanks, guys.
Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.